Hello and welcome back to episode 48 of the Championship Manager Lockdown Challenge here with Championship Manager 2, 1997-1998. And as you can see, we're now into Season 8. We're only in September, so we haven't gone on too far, but I think we did discuss that in the last episode, which obviously was the attempt at looking around the timeline and the alternative timeline. It didn't really work because silly old me got so excited with everything that was going on, I skipped past the update and we've lost all of last year's data and finishes and that sort of stuff. So yeah, we did what we could, but we couldn't really go too in depth. But we've got some interesting, exciting stuff for the season ahead. It's our third season in France. It's the final season of this challenge, I do believe, and we've managed to tick off a few points. I don't think this is going to be the biggest points haul over the 3 seasons. If I went back to the blog and looked up who did it originally, I bet there's some high scores. We have quite badly flopped. We had a season of sort of correcting the team and that sort of stuff. But anyway, today we move on. Final season. So today we're going to take on PSG, and we've also got our first Champions League group game, which we'll go into in a bit because we've just had the draw. That's kind of why I came back at this point. I did delete my notes stupidly because I'm having a bit of a mare at the moment. I'm not feeling very well. I'm getting better now, nearly there. But yeah, we've it's not going too well. I basically didn't delete my old notes, added the new stuff on, and then deleted them to start again. So I don't really know what's going on. But in terms of signings anyway, let's jump in. So obviously the last season we ended, we had Fugan. He came in. So we have added David Trezeguet on a free. I think I may have mentioned that in the last episode. I'm not too sure. He was on the way. He was incoming. He'd already been released. So we snapped him up. He started very well. 4 from 4. 3 assists as well. It's the striker we need to go alongside Bailey, I think. But we'll see how that carries on for the rest of the season. We did sign up Oliver Dacour. Obviously, Lons got relegated, so he didn't have a release clause or anything like that, but he was cheap enough. He was a good player. Apart from that, I think we looked at him last episode, I think. We may have even done the transfers last episode. I can't really remember. It's been a few days. It's been the weekend. It's been a busy weekend, so... And like I say, I've mashed notes up, so nothing feels familiar. So yeah, that's... we've snapped him up for just under £1 million. So that's 2 players in for £1 million. That's not too bad. We had a bit of money still in the bank, obviously, where we've managed to get the books balanced a little bit. His contract, he's on 9.5, so it's not too bad. And again, he gives us a bit more experience and strength in that defensive midfield position that I think we needed. We couldn't get Roy Keane or Giggsy. They signed new contracts. Before we carry on with the transfers, if you are enjoying this content, this series, please smash a like down below and hit the subscription button and all that lovely stuff. If you're new around here, then we raided our old club, Fulham, to get John Curtis. I felt we needed a centre-back. We'd got points for him a couple of seasons ago, but not anymore. But do you know what? It's not about points for the overall now. This is about helping us achieve some goals this season in the Champions League and in the league. We need to try and retain that league to get some bonus points, and we need to try and win the Champions League to get some baseline points, really. And I think one of the cups... Did we win one of the cups last year as well? I think we may have done. So if we can try and retain that as well. I think it was the Coupe de... We didn't win the Coupe de France. I think we won the Coupe de la Liga, which is like the Coca-Cola Cup, League Cup equivalent or whatever. So yeah, he's in for 2.1 million. Again, I think that's pretty good business for a 26-year-old. Only got 1 England cap, which I'm very surprised about. I thought we'd have had a few more of them by now. But, you know, whatever. As we didn't get Giggsy, we did go back to Bernard Diamed. We knew he was potentially coming available. I think a few clubs did go in for him. So we're like, we'll have some of that. 2 caps for France. I expect him hopefully to maybe have a good season and add to that hopefully this season. I'm not sure who France have got out on the left wing. If they even play left wings, I don't know. But 1.1 million, he's 30 years old, but you know what, we're in the last season of the challenge, so, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter too much. But he's doing well so far. No goals or assists, but the team is playing well, as we'll get to in a moment. And then Misse Obama, you're thinking, who's this guy? Hospitalet, who I can't remember who. I think they're in South America somewhere. I might be wrong with that. I think they're in Argentina team. But 5k, what are you doing? Yeah, that is a Yafet Underam's regen. Again, 2 goals, 4 assists in 4 games. He has hit the ground running as an 18-year-old, and his value has already gone up because he was only 50k, I think, 25k, I think his value. He's shot up to 350k already. I don't want to make him available. He's got no contract clauses or anything, but he looks very, very tidy all round the board, and he's jumped straight in at 18 years old into the first team, and I think that's going to continue. So, yeah, that's the business in. We have had some outs. I think we did touch on some of them last episode, but Austin obviously went to Juventus. Capron's gone on loan. That's happened. That's since gone. So Hazel, he went to Charlton for 500k. He's not there anymore. He's at Newcastle. They've already snapped him up. They've snapped him up for 450k. So Charlton haven't even made a profit on him. But the big club release clause come in, and that is obviously Raw Fox's regen. So he's kind of gone back home. I mean, it's not where he started. I think he was he Norwich first of all, then went to Newcastle, then to Tottenham, I believe. I think we've got better, especially with the last season. We needed some squad space, but I think he could be one that in future we might regret letting go a little bit. I think he's maybe better than we. He's going to get better. I think he's in England under 21s. Newcastle snapped him up within about a month of him signing. So I think, yeah, there's obviously something about him. We did sell Blochell to Brentford. I think we might have touched on some of these. He's doing okay for Brentford. 5 goals in 10. But anyway, yeah. Nathan White's gone to Leyton Orient. He's 25 now. He's got a big club release clause. Preston want him, which I assume will be triggered. 3 games. Yeah, he's not doing too badly. Not doing too well. Capron, Frank Leboeuf's regen. He's gone to Verona. Big club release clause. No one's interested. He's not playing. So I think that was probably the right decision. Levi Wright is Neil Ruddock's regen. He's gone to Bury. Big club release clause. No one interested. 8 games, 7. Okay, he's not doing too badly. I think his pace is what concerned me. 5 pace. Everything else wasn't too bad. It was just the pace. Determination's good. Aggression, yes, okay. It's Ruddock, innit? It's Razor Ruddock. But yeah, he's gone to Bury. I don't think him, Capron, or White. Maybe White. Yeah, White even. Yeah, even Blochell. Has he got the big club? Yeah, I think all of them will probably move on if they have a decent enough season. We did sell Afanu to Marseille. He's played one appearance in the Champions League, which I think is a qualifier. They are in the groups. They did get through. We do know that because I saw them in the draw. Can't remember who's in their group. I think they got a decent one, but we'll look at those groups in a moment. Yeah, 475k. It was a decent wage to get off the board. He's only on 10 for them, but he's got a lot of caps for France, considering some of the players we've got who haven't, which is very strange. And then finally, we sold Willy Sagnol to Strasbourg. I think with Dumas still being there, we're trying to sell him. We're maybe trying to free him. But also we've got Domi, is it Remy and Curtis now. That's 3 very good centre-backs. And we've also got Dumas in the background. We've also got Bjorn Holmstrom's regen, can play centre-back as well. Can probably actually play better than Dumas there, actually. So we've got 4 good centre-back options. So we didn't really need him. Get his wage off the thing, and yeah, off he goes. He's doing okay for Strasbourg. Plus, it gives us a spot if we do need to bring in someone. Not that we've got a huge amount of money to work with anymore. We are still trying to offload Elias. No one wants him. I've dropped his price. No one wants him. Nee, possibly if a bid comes in, we might let him go and just try and snap up someone. But he's also only on £1,000 a week. So, you know, whatever. Dakor has picked up an injury. He's going to be out for 3 months. So, fantastic. Ulrich is suspended for today's game, which we'll touch upon in a moment. Who else is in here we need to discuss? Wattier, no bids. Ikpeba, no bids. I've dropped his price right down. He's still 2 million to release, so I'm obviously not going to do that. What's his wage? 28,000. Jesus Christ. He's still got 3 years on that deal as well. Sonny Anderson's listed, but again, no buyers, takers. He's in the Brazil teams. Zelius, Sonny Anderson, and it must be Americo are in the Brazil team. So I don't know how he's still getting in. He isn't really playing, whereas we've got players that are playing for the club and they're not. I mean, Bailey, he has got an England team now. I don't think he's played yet. He didn't play in the last. He was called up for the last lot of internationals, which I think I've got a note about in my fresh notes. Yeah, so the upcoming games, but he didn't play because I think we've played other games since and he hasn't got the cap. So yeah, we can ignore that note because it hasn't happened. But let's get into the results. In fact, no, I'll go and have a quickly look at the draw for the Champions League because you will see it otherwise in the fixture page. So if we go to the group tables, so we've got Ajax, Dynamo Kiev, Copenhagen and Real Madrid. And I think they announced these in the order they come out. They didn't announce all of them, but they showed some of them. I think they show some of the big teams and stuff like that. I don't really know how they do it. Maybe if it's teams that are... Yeah, I think it's maybe because it's teams that are in the leagues we've got activated. So obviously Real Madrid are in this one. So I think Real Madrid and Ajax should be fairly set to be getting through that one. You would imagine. I can't see... Dynamo Kiev were decent back then, I suppose. Copenhagen should probably be finishing bottom, I would expect. But you never know with these Danish clubs. We've got, is it AAB from Norway? All these Scandinavian clubs, they do get quite good. They do produce some good players, so you never know. We've got Celtic, Man United, Marseille and Rosenborg. So Marseille are going to have a job to get out of that group, but they are very good. Man United look like they have strengthened. They did have a small squad. They've bought quite a few players in. Arguable whether they're any good signings in there. A goalkeeper from Mansfield, but obviously they were in the Premier League and just got relegated. So Okay, he's quite good. Legwinski we know about. He's the guy that we sold, isn't it? That's the one I talked about in an episode or two back when I said, and I couldn't think who he was, but it's him. He hasn't done anything for United. Jamie Day from Arsenal we know about. That's a good signing. And Greg Furnell, don't know much about him. He's a regen, that's why. And they did sell some players, release some players. Oh, Peter Nilsson, he's gone to OB. Of course he has. We looked at him a few years ago, I think, when we needed some frees. Diddy Harmon goes to Liverpool. A transfer between Man United and Liverpool, but it's actually a real-life transfer. I think he's at Newcastle. No, he's still at Bayern on this game. Okay. Jetu's gone to Real Madrid. Someone we could have maybe looked at signing, but he was a bit rich for our blood. Solskjaer's gone to Derby. Okay. So that's a tough group there anyway. Atletico Madrid, Dynamo Tbilisi, that's a plum group for Atletico Madrid. They should walk that with, 18 points quite comfortably, I would imagine. Well, I think we had Grasshoppers last year, didn't we? I think even we put them aside quite easily. We've got FC Croatia. I haven't looked at these teams. Former Monaco player Robert Sperhar leading the line for them. Had a good season last season. Doing okay so far, but he is 34. Is that the guy that played for Derby? Igor Civitanovic. I thought he played for Derby, but I might be wrong. But I recognise the name, and possibly from Sociedad. So yeah, Prosinecki's in there. It's not the Robert Prosinecki because he's not a centre back. He's a very good. Although they have got Robert Prosinecki, the very good one. He's been there from the start of the game. Didn't realise he was at FC Croatia, but he hasn't moved on. He's a very good player. He's potentially a regen to look at once he finally retires, but he would be a foreign player, and we're obviously not going to be here. So that's FC Croatia. We've got PSV, who is actually the first game we've got today. So we've got them and So we've got PSG and PSV. Idager Johnson leading the line for them so far. Not done great, but he has got 2-2 in Europe for them this season. Not done much for Iceland either, but yeah, some good. Deriva, have they signed him? They have. Porto, River Plate, and then PSV back to Europe. Okay. Not as big a team as I thought it was going to be. There's quite a lot of grey players in there. They haven't got a full complement of players really. He looks okay, yeah. They've not got any outstanding goal scorers. And Standard Liège, I think, will be maybe a little bit trickier than they look. I thought that was Kinkladze then, but it's not. It's Georgi Kiknadze. I'm half expecting to see Kinkladze in there as well, like I did with Prosinecki, but he's not. And Nikos Maklas is there as well. He signed from Vitesse very early on. Hasn't really done anything. So I'm pretty confident. Another Monaco player, of course, left back, Philip Leonard. Sold before we arrived there, obviously. But yeah, I'm quite confident in that group, of our ability to get through that group. Yeah, we'll see. Aberdeen, Benfica, Inter and Vidas Riga. Arsenal, Juventus, Legia, Warsaw, Red Star. And that's it. Okay. Fixture-wise, let's have a quick look at the fixtures. I'm realising this video is going on quite a bit, hence why I'm only playing 2 games. But we haven't played a huge amount of fixtures. 3-2 win against Nantes opening day. Bailey and Trezeguet with the goals. BT off to a good start. Not much else to say there. We were 2-0 up. Quite comfortable. No, we were 1-0 down, actually. Javari in the first minute. Our new defenders, John Curtis. Excuse me. Not off to the best start, but Trezeguet equalised quite early on. Then we sort of pushed forward, got 2 goals with Bailey, but they did pull back one in the last 10 minutes to make it a bit twitchy. But we deserved the win, and probably more comfortably than we did. But, 3 points on the board, whatever. But this was the game. I wasn't sure to come back. If it wasn't so early, I'd have come back for this game. But Marseille obviously pushed us all the way last season. But we managed to see them off with a Bailey goal this game. And Albame actually didn't do very well in this game. He got a 6, and at this point I'm thinking, do I stick with him? I stuck with him, and he's repaid me very well. So what can you say? But 24th minute, Bailey. We still need pulling in 13,000 in the stadium. We're not even maxing out our stadium. Probably a draw would have been a fair result, but we take the 3 points and we move on. We're going to need them as the course of the season rolls on, I am sure. I don't think we're going to steamroll this. Although this is probably the best Monaco team we've had. Obviously, after the 3rd season, we managed to get some good players in there now. But Dakor, Albame and Trezeguet with the goals in this one. And Dabo, another real life. Who did he play for? Did he come to England? I can't remember. I know he played for Lazio, I seem to recall, in real life. But yeah, we 3-1 win against Rennes. That was a very good result. And then a 4-1 win against St Etienne. Ulrich, we actually finished this game with 9 men. We had the lead, we had the score before it happened, fortunately, and we still battered them, really, let's be honest. They're a bit closer than you think, but they got a late one back, but we did get 2 even later ones, and that was after. Ulrich was only off in the 90th minute. It was the 73rd minute, we were down to 9. We'd used our 3 subs. Dakor got injured, he's out for 3 months, and then Ulrich gave us another hole. So it was basically 2 centre midfielders that we had. 2 big gaping holes in our midfield we had missing, but we'd already had the damage with Abame, Trezeguet and Crossley. Well, Crossley actually A few of them actually added after the damage was done, but obviously Ulrich just sealed it. But he's missing today. I think he's suspended. But we got PSG and PSV, as you can see, and then the games start sort of racking up quite nicely. We'll see who we come back for there. But we do need to change Ulrich for Holter. We're going to stick maybe Randall on the bench, I think. We've only got really the two centre midfielders. It might be a position I need to maybe lock up a little bit. Oh, I did want to have a quick look at PSG. They are our opponents today, but we'll have a quick look at them. So obviously last season their team was very lopsided, very small, very weak, and they didn't have a lot of money to fill it out, and they still haven't filled it out really. But they are absolutely minted, and I don't really know. I'm assuming they're going to do some more business through the course of the next couple of weeks. I don't think the window's shut yet, but they brought in 3 players: Zanotti from Bordeaux, Rouvier from, so 2 centre midfielders, one from Marseille, one from Bordeaux, and then a centre back from Metz. So they've only spent what, about £6 million there. I don't think they've let anyone go. Obviously Trezeguet's contract expired and Ligwinski went at the end of last season, so that doesn't count. But yeah, their squad is still a little bit threadbare and a little bit lopsided. They've got 2 centre midfielders now, obviously, which will help them immensely. Defence is still a little bit not unsure. I mean, Rouvier's a centre midfielder playing out on the left now. It's very strange. Perez should be there and Rouvier there, really. Henry and Canute up front, 2 French Premier League strikers, obviously. One better than the other. I won't say who I believe because it's probably obvious as an Arsenal fan and just as a football observer in general. But we stick with the team we got out there. We're going to... Trezeguet's through. Can he score against his old... I'm hoping he could score against his old team nice and early. Put a bit of pressure on them nice and early and just let them know what they've missed, because they haven't played him the whole time. They bought him from Monaco years ago and they haven't really utilised him. But PSG also signed Henry from Monaco. Oh, it was Maurice. I thought it was Henry. Maurice wasn't even in the lineup when we looked at it a minute ago, but not really the result I was hoping for or expecting, really. We've started like a... There we go. Trezeguet gets his goal, 20th minute. He sends one back to his old employers. Obviously, we've brought him home. I need to add that to my notes, actually. I think I have, actually. Just to rack up the points at the end of this season so I can see how we've done. But coming up to half-time, still 1-1. I probably would take a draw here. As much as their team is, you know, a bit small and a bit lopsided, they still were winning games. They still come third quite comfortably last season, I think. And we're not far off pushing us for the title, even second. Oh, that's not... I mean, that doesn't help. That doesn't help anyone. So we're going to have to bring in... is he Finnish? I think he's Finnish. I can't remember his name. Can't pronounce his name, so I just call him the Finnish guy. And I'm just hoping he's Finnish. But Carno, that's another ex-Monaco player. There's a lot of cross signings in this game today. But Bailey looking to... Oh, they're going to get a red card, aren't we? Yep, John Curtis. So Aubameyang is going to have to come off for a centre-back. So it's going to be Didier Domi, former PSG player, of course. And I think that's about all we can do, really. Can we do what we did in the other game where we scored after going down to 10 men, 9 men? It's 10 men in this game. It doesn't look like it, and I can feel my voice starting to dissipate again. Take the draw. I'll take the draw here. Definitely with that happening, I'll take the draw. Ismail taking corners when they're actually... Has he got good set pieces? I can't imagine he has. If we get a player even anything under sort of 15, half the corners don't even go anywhere. He's hitting targets and all sorts. Carno gets man of the match, 1-1 draw. I think I'd probably take that, especially all things considered with the red card. If we can just get draws against our big rivals and do what we can against everyone else, steamroll everyone else, I think we'll be in for a decent season. As long as we don't drop points to those around us, I think we're okay. But we'll come back for that PSV game shortly. Okay, we're back, and it's the PSV game. So we've got to make a couple of changes here. I do want to quickly show the league table, actually, because we haven't dropped down. We're still top, fortunately, and we haven't really got a midfield. Okay, Ulrich is suspended in Europe as well. I was thinking I was going to have to make a change there. Zelius can come in. I think we're okay for foreign slots. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we are. We're not really utilising too many foreign players. I mean, Peba, Zelius generally don't get a look in. Anderson doesn't really get a look in. Diomed obviously is injured. How long did he get injured for? I didn't see it come up. A few weeks. So we can put Rivera in. That's not a problem. He should be good enough as a backup this season. And just no more injuries or suspensions would be absolutely fantastic. We don't want to lose too many players. As good as our squad is this year, I think there's A little bit of weakness maybe in some positions behind the first choices, really. I still think defensive midfield is a little bit a weak point, but they're going to come good. They're just young players that are going to come good. As Aubameyang gives us the lead on the 6th minute. My eyes are terrible. I need to get my eyes tested again. I do actually need to go to Specsavers or somewhere soon. Just need to arrange it through work and get the voucher from them. I'll go and do it. But we're pushing more. We look like we've got some more goals in us. Hopefully we can just keep them out in the meantime until that comes up, because that does seem to happen. You have a bit of a flurry, don't quite score the goal, and you get sucker punched, and there we go. We get sucker punched on 36 minutes. It was a bad back pass, I think, from Reme. I think I saw, and they've basically scored with their first chance. But Holter, in for suspended Ulrich, grabs the goal. And that's maybe a position we don't see many goals come from, actually. Trezeguet makes it free. Is the centre midfield spot. Ulrich doesn't grab too many, and Holter doesn't score too many, really. But we've got so many other positions in front of them where the goals do come from that it's not too much of an issue, generally. But it would be nice just to see a few more numbers chipping in from those centre midfields. But their average ratings do very well. They do get a lot of 7s and 8s and more sometimes. Bailey, and that looks like Americo, makes it 4-1. Voice is going. I'm feeling a little bit better today. The reason I've still not started running again. The reason I'm not at the moment. Still feeling a little bit, not quite sure if it's completely better yet. I don't want to risk going out. Plus, it's very, very gusty out there today. I don't want to be so cold, windy. You know, if I'm going to be coughing all over the place, I don't want to be doing that. And just woke up with the most, I think it's related to the storms, just the most outrageous headache that just won't quit. It's starting to ease off a little bit now, so I might actually force myself out for a run. I haven't decided yet. Going to have some lunch in a minute, and then we'll decide what I'm going to do. But 4-1 win, great opening start to our group. We'll have a look at how the other teams in our group did, and we'll have a look at the Ligue table as well. 750 grand in the bank. That's always helpful as well. That's more prize. That's more than we got prize money for finishing top, I think, last season, if I remember correctly. But Spod Prague beating Dynamo Tbilisi. Is that? Oh, that's not our group, is it? No. Standard and FC Croatia drawing. That's even better. Even better. If we can start easing ourselves in front before it's even really begun, that's all good. PSV as well, the team probably would expect to finish second. So the fact that we've already opened a big point lead and goal difference lead over them is fantastic. But like I say, it just shows that they're not actually as good. And if they're that bad, what a Standard? I mean, Standard might actually come to be the team that give us a bit more of an issue, to be honest, because Belgium teams do get quite good as well as you start getting to this stage of the game. Sands is back. Ulrich is back, I think I just saw as well. So that's good. Let's have a quick look at the Ligue. Love saying that. Ligue table. So 5 games played. We are still top. PSG only letting 1 goal, and that was against us, I think. Did we score in that game, or was it 0-0? No, we did score. 2 points clear, but we've got Angers and Bordeaux there as well. How are Marseille doing? They're down, way down. Obviously, we beat them, but they've only got 5 points on the board. Yeah, Nice, who just come up, are already struggling as well. But let's have a look at where we're going to come back next. I don't really know. I'm not too sure. It's always the same. So we've got not a huge amount of games coming up. Anything interesting? I mean, Guingamp's always a good one, isn't it? There's always a guaranteed drop points. Plus, it's on the back of Standard. There's no point seeing FC Croatia, I don't think. I mean, it could be for a number of goals, hopefully, but or we'll get beat by them. I'm not too sure. I think we might do that. We might come back for maybe Standard and Guingamp, possibly. So we come back in October. Although, PSV, Lyon, we don't want to do PSV again. No, we'll come back maybe for, yeah, Standard and Guingamp. So we've got about a month to play through. A couple of games, yeah, we'll do that. Play through the group, and then we've got some interesting stuff opening up sort of in the new year. That's when a lot of the big fixtures start to clump together. We've got a lot of mediocre-ish teams sort of around this sort of point, around the Champions League games as well. So yeah, we'll do that. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do smash that like button down below. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button as well. You are quite near the end now if you are just joining us for the first time. So, you know, ride it out, see what we do. You know, Regen FC taking shape very nicely. And we'll see where we go from here. But I've got more series coming up, sort of one-off things that you don't need to tune in over sort of 50-odd episodes to get a grip on as well. So that's in the pipeline, but I'm going to start working on that soon. Probably once this season's finished and I'm catching up with videos that are sort of releasing as I'm doing. So, yeah. Until next time for that, what do we say? Standard and Guingamp game. I'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.